Okay, folks, welcome to a quick discussion about how IBM is trading after hours. We'll discuss the share price, we'll discuss their earnings report, we'll discuss the longer term projection of where I think IBM shares are going to move from here. So let's get to it. So, after the close today, IBM reported earnings and they beat on the top and the bottom line. Really, really strong numbers. But frankly, I think that the news out of Apple today, Apple reducing headcount, mostly through attrition, but that spooked the market. It sent the market down lower on the day, bearish key reversal across the board. So I think a lot of that negativity found its way into IBM in the after hours session, but I do not think it's going to last, assuming that the overall market doesn't roll over. Let's talk about their earnings in greater detail. So, as I mentioned, they beat on the top line and the bottom line. Where they missed was on free cash flow. The street had expected $10.5 billion in free cash flow. They came in with a $10 billion free cash flow. I mean, certainly not worthy of a 6.5% drop in the after hours session from peak to trough. Their forward-looking guidance remains pretty much unchanged. The strength of the US dollar is a bit of a problem for them. But if we see a pullback in the US dollar, that's going to help IBM. Their EPS for Q2 was $2.31. That beat the estimate of $2.28. Sales, they came in with $15.5 billion. That's a beat versus the $15.25 billion the street had expected. So what's not to like there? Their cloud business showed double-digit growth. And when you take a look at the PE ratio of 17, which is very reasonable relative to its peer group, a dividend yield of 4.8%, as well as return on equity of 36.3%, you have to say, wow, those are some pretty good numbers. Yet the shares are coming under pressure. So, is it time to buy the shares right here, right now? No, I would not in the after hours session, because you don't know where the shares are going to open up tomorrow morning. If there are big institutions that are out there that want to unload positions, they're going to do it during regular hours to trade. So we may get a washout tomorrow morning, but I suspect that if the overall market holds up, that IBM is going to be one of the first stocks out of the gate to rally and rally strong. Why do I say that? Let's head on over to TrendSpider. To answer that question, we'll need to head on over to our sponsor over at TrendSpider. TrendSpider is the leader in automated technical analysis. Folks, if you're going to trade in a market environment as we're finding ourselves trade against computers nowadays, you need to have artificial intelligence at your fingertips. What do I mean by that? Well, you see these lines here, green, red, green, blue. I didn't draw these lines. That's the algorithm telling me that I have resistance immediately above. Let me show you. Take them off, click of a button, put them back on. And there you go. That's power, folks. That's power at your fingertips. Take advantage of the 35% discount code below. Now let's walk through why I am very, very bullish on IBM longer term. So we have had a very volatile 2022, yet IBM is up on the year, while the S&P 500 is down, along with the triple Qs. Now, you could see that last month we rallied up and into these resistance levels, and we were rejected off of the top three. We held support at the bottom quartile. This month, we're trading down below the lower band of support, and at current in the after-hours session, we're down around here, around 132. I think that for a washout, we can get down to 130. And I would be a buyer at that level, because at 130, we know that we've had resistance at that level back here, but that resistance level became support here. So we have a ton of history showing us that there is a lot of buying interest at the 130 mark. Our stochastic, which is your momentum indicator, is rising, and we are putting in higher lows and a higher high. So this is the macro view of IBM. Now, IBM, it could be argued, we could use as a trading vehicle, given that it's sold off of the highs of the month on really irrational reasons. And that when we take a look at the seasonality functionality on TrendSpider, let's bring it up, that while we are down on the month at current, over the past 11 years, we tend to trade up and close up 64% of the times in the month of July. That being said, August is the second worst month of the year. So if you're looking to put on an investment here, you may want to nibble on this pullback and then add more as we begin to break out above resistance levels. If you're a trader and you're nimble and you want to buy this pullback against support, betting that you're going to get a counter trend rally off of it by the end of the month and the shares close positive, that's fine. So what we're going to do here at the Contrarian Traders, I'm going to set up an alert. Touch, bounce. I'm going to keep a little bit of sensitivity. There's going to be a lot of volatility tomorrow morning. And I want to get notified of when we hit support. And we'll keep this active for a few days. So our alert is set. It's right up here. So that's our analysis of IBM, folks. If you're not currently a member, please take advantage of our 14-day free trial offer. We give TrendSpider away for free to our silver and gold level members. If you're interested in TrendSpider, use that link below. Get a 35% discount off of TrendSpider. That's the cheapest price on the web. And if you're not ready to take the leap of faith of joining the Contrarian Trader, at least subscribe, click the notification bell, leave a comment below. We go live every Thursday and Sunday night, and we'll go over the symbols that you request. We limit them at 2 per person, but if you subscribe and you leave a comment with your symbols and why you like them, if you're bullish or bearish, I'll go over your symbols the next time we go live. And for those folks that are new to technical analysis, I have a 5-part video tutorial. There's a link below. It's free. Check it out. My top 5 favorite candlestick patterns. Again, free of charge. Members will be sending out an alert when we do pull the trigger on IBM, so expect that alert by text and email. Everybody have an awesome night. Stay relentless and be well.